table, Chairman, if you agree for your purpose, a clearer version of the contract document.
It's
9 copies, so that is enough.
Sometimes you are constrained to take new evidence at this point, yes. But because you are quasi-judicial, maybe first table it to the clerk and then we'll take a view. But you see the point.
Does it mean we don't interrogate that aspect? Because
no, we definitely would, because in line with Senator Sifuna's query, the first page of the contract agreement talks about the 28 million.
Correct.
So the curiosity is why the 5% was captured in an appendix on the last page of the contract. You see, that's a reason for curiosity.
Yes.
That this could have been an afterthought, or this could have been an insertion to an original contract that wasn't there. And that is why the Auditor General asked that question, and it was not answered when the Auditor General was in Homa Bay.
Chairman, I want to say that, and this is under oath in the House here, that if the figure had not been part of the main contract, it would not be in anybody's interest to insert it and then say it is part of the original contract. So it was there, Chairman, but the reason it wasn't provided, I want to agree with the committee that the document should have been provided to the auditors in full, including the addendum, so that we did not have to raise this issue here. And Chairman, I want to assure you that whoever did not provide the document, we will take administrative action against them.
Governor, unfortunately, we have taken your copy of the document.
Yes.
And the beauty with this agreement is that it is signed on every page. Governor, if you look at the signatures on the previous page and the ones on this last page that you're now providing, they don't look the same. They have been signed by different people, and yet the people who have signed from the beginning are consistent. What is the explanation there? Just look at the previous page, Appendix B. The document, the page you are looking at is the Appendix C, Summary of Costs. Just flip one page back to Appendix B and look at the signatures down there.
Go back as many pages as you want.
There is one distinct signature on Appendix C that is not on the other pages.
Yes.
This one that looks like a millipede.
I can see you're still traumatized from the BBI days. Yes, but
no, that was Okoa Kenya.
Okoa Kenya.
Yeah. Governor, would you quickly respond to that? I think it's a valid observation.
I want to ask the attorney to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I just want to make reference to the document that is annexed at 6J, which is the Contract on Automation of Revenue Collection and Management System. So, Chair, if you go to that document on page 2, you will see what constitutes the contract. And from the word go, you will see that at part C, whereas the amount of the contract is stated there at part C. But it goes ahead at paragraph 1, now therefore, that the following documents attached here shall be deemed to form an integral part of this contract. So it lists them, and it goes to number C, the appendices. Now on the appendices, number 1 is terms of reference, number 2 is the key experts, and appendix C is reimbursable cost estimates. So appendix A, B, and C constitute part of this contract. Now, what Her Excellency is referring to, and where there is a 5%, is appendix C. Now, if you go to the second last page of that document, it lists now the appendices. Number B is the key experts, then the last page is the breakdown of contract prices. Now, it lists the amount of money, and at paragraph 3, maybe it is just because it's not clear. It says the transaction fee, and on the right side of the column, it says 5%. So these appendices were part of the original contract, so that there is no confusion, Chair. The last document, the one that is dated 3rd of July, the appendix, the addendum to contract. The addendum to contract is specific to the term. Chair, if you look at
we are with you on the same page.
We are with
you
yes,
on that.
Yes, yes.
The observation is Appendix C,
Yes.
and Appendix B has got different signatories. Maybe that's what you need to
Chairman,
address yourself to.
can the signatory himself address himself to that, who's the Chief Officer Finance?
And it would also have been very useful for Appendix D and E to be availed, so that we know whether they've also been signed, because they form part of the contract, as Attorney Orego has said.
I think just before the expert, what was the term?
The signatory.
The signatory.
Receiver of revenue.
Governor, just allow me to help you. This is a legal question, and I think you should allow your county attorney to explain to the Senate how it is possible, because all these documents he has run through are one contract. It is not possible for sections of the contract to be signed by Wambua, then Cherargei signs C, and then Sifuna signs B. I want him to first say that himself as a professional, whether it is possible for individuals to pop in and out of contracts when they have not been part of the entire thing.
Chairman, I wanted that to be addressed by the signatory to the contract, if you allow me.
Very well.
So that if there's any legal question, the attorney, there's an explanation that he has given me, but I want him to just give it to the Senate.
Okay, please.
Thank you, Chair and the committee. My name is Alphonse Wera, Chief Officer Finance and the Receiver of Revenue. That is my signature, and I gave the one which is
on the new document or the new one?
The new signature.
the one that Senator described. It's not new. If we start from the first page of the contract, Chair,
Where is it on Appendix B?
I'll refer to where it is.
Where is it on Appendix B?
Appendix, all the appendices, I have done an initial, I've initialized all the appendices, but because that page contains the figure of 28 million, I gave my full signature, which I have also done up. If you go to the 4th page of the same contract, you'll see the same full signature signed on the page where all the officials of the county have signed. That is the 4th page of that contract.
So you put your full signature only where money...
Where there is money in the appendices, I put my full signature, the same signature that is in page 4.
What
where I'm
about
supposed
page
to
1 where 28 million is mentioned?
Sorry?
The first page of the contract agreement, where there is 21 million mentioned. 28.289 million.
Chair, that table has a breakdown of all the costs. That is why I put in my full signature.
Honorable members, does that make sense?
Can I ask, the other pages you're saying you also initialed?
No, all the other pages have initials on the left-hand side.
So these initials, which one, KB, is yours?
No, the one that is a cycle.
Okay. So I still see it on that last page.
Yes,
so you're saying you initialed and signed in
yes, I initialed and signed my full signature. And if you go to page 4, where the officials of the county have signed, the Director of Procurement, Chief Officer, and the others have also signed that page with the same signature. So it was there at the signing of this document. I can confirm that.
So what's the explanation again? Why are you signing the final page and you're not signing on the other page? What's the explanation?
I've signed the page where I'm supposed to formally sign, that is page 4, and then I have singled out this specific page because it has got a breakdown of costs.
So, Receiver of Revenue, when you saw this query from the Auditor General, and you are saying that you put your full signature on it, why didn't you address it and close it at that point in time? Why has it come to the Senate? Why are we discussing it? If that addendum was available, and it was your signature, and it is your report, you are the Receiver of Revenue.
Chair, to answer to that, the addendum, I think we are looking at the main contract. And because...
Sorry, appendix, the appendix. Let's refer to the appendix.
Yeah, the appendix of the main contract, it's not advisable to have a claim and a counterclaim. But that figure...
Receipt of revenue.
Yeah.
You say that you signed this appendix C.
Yes, I did.
That has a 5%.
Yes, I did.
Did you see this observation by the Auditor General in the draft certificate?
Yes, Chair, I saw.
Why didn't you address it at that point in time?
We did address and responded to it, Chair.
So how did it end up in the Senate and in the public domain? Because the auditor was not satisfied. Perhaps for the reasons that the committee is presenting now. So, honourable members, we need to
perhaps
get
you need
away
to
forward.
perhaps you need to provide context for why members grow suspicious of such presentation before the Senate. There has been a case of a county entity that came here with receipts. You remember, Chair?
Yes.
And from just a casual observation, you could tell that these documents had just been manufactured to answer or respond to the audit query. And that's why the Chair is saying these auditors, because again, I repeat, I'm also audited. Governor, I'm also an accounting officer. There is no way the auditor can ask the Honorable Kawino to produce a document, then he refuses to produce, and then he shows up with the document at the Senate. So, Auditor General, do you go through the same process you go with me? At the party of mine is more robust because we sit down with you, you do management letters, there are exit meetings. Why can't you have these issues cleared during the point of audit?
Sure. I dedicate you to. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Of course, the audit process is the same from the entry meeting, exit meeting, raising an ML, raising a draft. And again, maybe the issue is if there are contracts that have been provided, and that's why the audit has really picked the issue, if there are annexes supporting that contract, and probably you have just provided the face value of the contract, this some information is really missing. So at the point of maybe the ML issuance or even at the exit meeting, if there are annexes or maybe even the addendum that post the changes of some of the contract terms, then at that point could be provided for us to address the issue.
Senator Chirage, and then ROR, you'll tell us this 5%, let's put it in context. How much money is it annually so that we know what we are dealing with? Senator Chirage.
Yeah, I can see one of the residents of Homa Bay is calling me. I don't know why. Chair, maybe I've known the mischief. I've known the mischief why the governor has provided not readable a contract, because when you look at page 103, Governor,
Which one was
this is in J. This is 6J. I think page of 3 I have struggled, Chair. Governor, I need clarity. And of course, you have said you will take administrative action for somebody who prepared this documentation. Why were you paying in pounds professional liability insurance with a minimum coverage of any occurrence which is £500,000 on and any period of insurance to £1 million? And then in number 38.1, the contract price was 28,289,179 inclusive of the VAT. Why were you using two currencies? One, you are using pounds, unless maybe the governor will tell us whether this company is local, or is it a UK-based company, or is it domain is here in Kenya? Because if the contract sum was 28 million, then professional liability insurance with a minimum coverage of that is between 500,000 to 1 million pounds. Why was the inconsistency? What was the wisdom in the drafting of, and we have had the stories of the signatory, which does not look believable, Chair. What was this inconsistency? And by the way, Governor, can you provide us who are the people who signed, apart from one signatory, who signed and negotiated this contract? Because there is a process of contract, and why the difference between pounds and shillings? This is very unique, Chair.
Governor? And this is a problem of not providing documentation at the time of audit, because once it comes to the Senate, it's in the public domain, and we have all the rights to ask questions.
Chairman, I think we have, on the issue of the signature, I think it has been answered to the best of our knowledge.
Not necessarily to the satisfaction of the committee.
To the best of our knowledge, by the person who signed the contract. And Chairman, for the contract to be executed, you have to pay the service provider this amount. And Alphonse will be responding to what kind of amount it is. And even just looking at it practically, for the service provider to sign a contract without us, indicating what kind of percentage we will be paying them, also, would not make sense even to the provider themselves. And that is why I want to, submit that this part of the amount or the percentage of money was part of that original contract. And I do this, Chairman, in good faith and under oath. I want to ask the attorney to respond to the figures that have been provided, the provisional liability figures that have been provided in pounds.
Thank you very much, Chair. In respect of paragraph 24.1, the insurance coverage against the risk shall be as follows. So it's the professional liability insurance with a minimum coverage of any occurrence at $500,000 and any one period of insurance at $1 million.
In dollars or pounds?
It's actually in dollars.
It's in dollars.
It's actually 1 million.
And we are struggling, Wakili, with all what you have brought before us. They are not legible. And we are not superhuman.
The figure is $500,000, and in one period a maximum of $1 million. Those are the figures. These are the terms. Ordinarily, these are provided for by insurance companies. So that in terms of exposure, that is what they usually provide for.
I agree with the principle, but,
yes.
But what was the wisdom in having in different... You are bringing us to IPP. You remember the story of independent power producers, and you are in parliament, where Kenyans were questioning, why are you buying power through IPP agreements in dollars? So that is my only concern. And she was the chair of finance and in the last session.
Because in that case, AG, what you have done, you have really fully taken care of the insurer.
Yes.
But you have exposed.
And the changes in terms of currency will keep changing every minute, even if you go to Venezuela.
And I should believe